Welcome to Bizworld, I'm Nurin Razmyn. An investment of up to 3 billion ringgit will be made by the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Khazanah Nasional Berhad, Retirement Fund Incorporated, KWAP, and Blue Chip Venture Capital, BCVC. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the investment will be made in Southeast Asian and Malaysian ecosystems under the ASEAN Investment Initiative.
It's also aiming to centralize investment agencies such as MEFCAP under Penjana Capital under Khazanah. In this regard, I am pleased to share that Khazanah Nasional will launch a National Fund of Funds, a Malaysian focus fund with an initial 1 billion ringgit allocation to invest in innovative high-growth companies.
Speaking at the launch of KL20 Summit 2024 earlier today, he said this was following the 2024 Malaysia Madani budget announcement last year. Anwar added that the initiative outlined the government's commitment to Malaysian companies, from Bumiputra entrepreneurs to startups, small and medium enterprises, and rising champions. Malaysia should look into ways to establish an annual revenue objective in order to gauge its tax collection potential. According to World Bank's lead economist, Apurva Sanghi, reducing subsidies alone is not sufficient to generate the desired fiscal save-up.
Malaysia needs to first set and then obviously communicate and implement a well-defined revenue target, which will then determine the optimal mix of tax instruments. On pension reforms, reforming pensions by introducing a defined contribution scheme for new civil servants is a good starting point to address Malaysia's high spending rigidity, charting a well-thought-out investment policy.
He added that subsidy cuts is expected to contribute only 0.8% to the revenue collection. Tax revenue is estimated to increase to 12.3% of gross domestic product due to higher corporate and personal income tax collection. Khazanah Nasional's upcoming National Fund of Funds will be supercharging the effort to strengthen the startup ecosystem holistically in Malaysia. Its managing director, Dato' Amirul Faizal Wan Zahir, said among new areas that Malaysia can lead are medical devices, agritech, and sustainability.
And I think this is our role, where while we have an investing mandate, but because it's developmental in nature and we have a long-term gestation period in terms of returns, we can take bigger risks and bring in partners that looks at the whole ecosystem, right? And looking at investments from even venture generation up to Series A and all the way to growth as well.
Speakers over there. He added that there are also opportunities for Malaysia to shift towards innovation and manufacturing homegrown products. These are the areas that the Sovereign Wealth Fund wants to focus on in continuity of the capital.
You can see
Bursa Malaysia continued to trend higher in line with the regional sentiment recovery. At market close, the benchmark FBM KLCI added 12.02 points to finish at 1,559.59. Gainers outpaced losers with 764 against 331 counters, while 420 counters traded unchanged. According to Rakuten Trade, positive sentiment is driven by the recovery of losses and greater involvement in the global equity market. The net purchases by local institutions on Bursa Malaysia hit a 6-year high last week, totaling 1.79 billion ringgit. This versus the 430.7 million ringgit worth of domestic equities sought after in the week before. According to MIDF research, the amount was the highest since February 2018. It added that this was the local institution's 8th consecutive week of net buying. However, like most of its Asian counterparts, Bursa Malaysia recorded massive net selling last week, amounting to 1.59 billion ringgit. The research house said that the only sector with a net foreign inflow last week was telecommunication and media. Meanwhile, the top 3 sectors that recorded the highest net foreign outflows were financial services, consumer products and services, and industrial products and services. And that's all the time we have for Bizworld. I'm Nurin Razmyn. Keep tuning in to TV3.